Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're watching me for the first time, my name is Seed and I am super excited to be with you. Guys, we're checking out a video today. Alright, I'm super excited. This one is titled Why Finland Built an Underground City. Finland has an underground city. Okay, we are going to find out in this video. Alright, I'm super excited to check this one out. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell, guys, so you don't miss out whenever I upload a new video. Okay, to my returning subscribers, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for always tuning in. You guys are the reason why I'm still here. Okay, all right guys, without wasting much of your time, let's check this out.
Beneath the capital of Finland lies a massive network of bunkers and tunnels spread out all across the city. It's so vast that it can fit about 150% of Helsinki's entire population. You may be asking yourself why something like this is even needed, but if you zoom out of Helsinki, it'll become obvious why. Finland shares a 1,340-kilometer border with Russia, and their past, to say the least, isn't an amazing one. Look no further back than World War II, when the Soviet Union invaded Finland in what is now known as the famous Winter War. Even though Finland embarrassed the Soviet Union in the war, Helsinki was still ultimately bombed heavily, and Finland also ended up losing 9% of their territory to the USSR with the Moscow Peace Treaty. It's safe to say they haven't been on amazing terms since. However, it's been pretty stable. For the past few decades, Finland has had to walk the line between Soviet and Western influence. They adopted an unwavering stance of neutrality and stayed out of NATO in order to maintain a buffer between the organization and the Soviet Union, as well as to avoid antagonizing them in any way that could potentially be used as an excuse to ignite a conflict. It was during the height of the Cold War, though, that Finland realized not even neutrality could save them from the Soviet Union. When the US and the USSR edged closer to mutually assured destruction in the 1960s, the Finnish government was well aware of their country's proximity to Moscow, and therefore the risk of nuclear fallout. So they wanted to be prepared for the worst. This set about the beginning to extensively build below the surface in the event of a disaster. As a result of these conditions, today Helsinki has a fully functioning underground network. Located on varying levels 30 to 60 meters under the surface, Helsinki has almost 10 million square meters of underground spaces with a 200-kilometer tunnel network. That's enough space to store 50,000 double-decker buses. The thing is, though, their underground network is so vast and incorporated with civilian life that some people even call it the underground city instead. Take, for instance, the Merihaka bunker. This is what it looks like. Indoor play.
Wow, guys, this is entirely another world. This is really in Finland. Please let us know in the comment section because I have never heard this before. This is actually my first time getting to know that Finland has this huge underground city. Wow, that's really massive, guys.
Playgrounds, sports centers, and even a cafe. It may not look like a shelter, but in less than 72 hours,
everything
it can
in there,
certainly
guys.
become one.
This
is its entrance. 2 layers of cobalt blue blast doors, each a foot thick. One is designed to withstand the blast of a literal nuclear bomb, the other to seal off the atmosphere. In an emergency, the bunker can be filled to its capacity of 6,000 in an estimated 20 minutes. It also has bunks for 2,000 people to use in 8-hour shifts, as well as sanitation facilities. In rooms off to the side close to the public are electricity generators, air filtration systems, and other survival essentials. There's also enough water to last for 3 weeks due to an underground water reservoir 40 meters deep under downtown Helsinki, containing enough water to fill 14 Olympic-sized swimming pools. It has everything, and there's almost no trace of it on the surface either, because this entire bunker is 25 meters under Hakaniemi Market Square, which is just a normal, popular place to go get coffee and shop. Also, just because these places are underground doesn't mean they're barely used in peacetime. For example, the world's largest underground bus station, 𝐋𝐈𝐊𝐿 bus station, transports 170,000 people a day. And of course, above ground, you would barely notice a thing. You see, this is a way of life for Finnish people. It's not unique to them at all. There's swimming pools, running tracks, shopping malls, go-karting tracks, and even a famous church carved from bedrock, all underground. Simply put, a lot of stuff is underground. It's almost built into their culture. So much.
Really, there's so many things under this ground. Guys, there's so much more I think I don't know about Finland because this is actually my first time getting to do this. And I'm sure there's a whole lot of stuff that we don't know yet. Okay, this is really amazing. I am shocked because, guys, this is really big. This is really big. I won't lie. Nice.
So that Finnish law requires every apartment and work building with a floor area of at least 1,200 square meters to have a civil defense shelter. During peacetime, they're obviously used as storage space or for recreational purposes, but it's required that these shelters can be completely emptied and be used as a bomb shelter within, again, just 72 hours if danger arrives. These aren't just basic shelters either that we're talking about. I mean, they're outfitted with self-contained power and ventilation systems, water tanks, medicine, tools, and airtight metal doors, just to name a few things. There also must be enough food and water, air filtration, and other systems to last for at least 3 days. As a result of this law, Finland has over 54,000 bomb shelters scattered around the country, and Helsinki over 5,500, creating this vast underground network. Approximately 85% of these are private shelters in individual buildings, and the public shelters are even more war-ready. Take for example this Santa Park located in Rovaniemi, the capital of Lapland. It's a famous underground Christmas theme park known for being one of the best winter destinations in the world, which tens of thousands of people visit each year. There's Santa's post office, elf school, reindeers, and all that. Yet its main purpose is far from festive. Just like everything else, its original and main purpose is that of an air raid shelter, equipped to withstand bombings or a chemical or nuclear attack, and can house 3,600 people. It has camping beds, first aid kits, and even equipment to dig a tunnel back to the surface in case the construction collapses. A separate well provides water as well. This and all other public shelters also have enough resources to keep its inhabitants surviving for 2 weeks, compared to the 3-day minimum for the private ones. Now, in recent years, the Finnish government had never really felt an imminent threat to their country, but given the fairly recent Russian invasion of Ukraine, this has all changed. Russia's unprovoked war and aggression has not only put Finland on high alert, but they also did the one thing they weren't supposed to do: apply to NATO. Before the war, public support for Finland joining NATO was just 28%, and since then it's jumped to as high as 76%.
Really?
The appeasement tactic that Finland used intelligently in the past is now
impressive.
gone. As it becomes more and more likely that Finland will now be joining NATO, Moscow's reaction to this is actually exactly what Finland has been preparing for all these years. Well, sort of. See, the reaction to this ascension has been varying in terms of seriousness. Russia's Deputy Foreign Minister, 𝐋𝐈𝐊𝐄 𝐒𝐂𝐑𝐈𝐁𝐄, said Finland joining would be a grave mistake with far-reaching consequences, while Overlord Putin has said it was not as serious, saying their relationship with Finland is different than Ukraine's, and that they have no territorial issues or disputes. But he did say that there will definitely be tension, and more importantly, joining NATO would be a mistake. Make of that what you will. Regardless of this though, Finland is definitely prepared in the event of an attack. So let's say Russia does do just that. Well, first of all, the Finnish government believes it can rely on credible military intelligence that will hopefully give people 72 hours notice of hostilities as well as warning of an imminent attack. Everyone would then be alerted by sirens stationed around the country going off, and their phones alarming them to take cover in the closest shelter. Finally, citizens would descend into the tunnels through covert entrances on the streets above. It's a pretty solid plan. And if we're playing this what-if game of Russia attacking Finland, then honestly Finland might also be set above ground as well, at least for some time. While the nation of 5.5 million has a wartime strength of just 280,000 troops, it did not abolish military conscription for males as many other Western nations did after the end of the Cold War. Meaning in terms of reserves they can mobilize, that number is closer to 900,000, 6% of their entire population. For comparison, that'd be like 20 million people being in the US Army Reserves. Finland also has the largest artillery capability in Western Europe and spends 2% of their GDP on defense, a higher level than many NATO countries. I'm not saying Finland would win in the end, but to be fair, they were able to inflict severe casualties on the Soviet Union during the Winter War and hold them off. So who knows how long they'd last this time. Now, not only does Helsinki have probably one of the largest and most comprehensive subterranean city systems in the world for its size, but it actually might be branching out of Finland itself. Earlier, I mentioned that Helsinki has a 200-kilometer underground tunnel network. But that won't be the end of it. There's plans for it to be expanded across the Gulf of Finland to connect the city of Helsinki and Tallinn, the capital of Estonia, via a 100-kilometer-long undersea rail tunnel for a cost of almost $15 billion. This would not only improve connectivity between the two capitals and reduce travel time from 2 hours by ferry to only 20 minutes by train, but it'd also sort of give Estonia access to Helsinki's shelter network, which in turn could save even more lives. Though of course, if it comes to the point where somehow Russia attacks Estonia, which is a NATO country by the way, then we might have a problem on our hands that not even Finland's underground shelters can truly save us from. That is total nuclear war.
Oh, wow, guys, this is really interesting. I never knew there's an underground city in Finland. All right, this is my absolute first time getting to know this. Okay, one thing I like about Finland is that they are always prepared. I love their preparedness towards issues. All right, this might not be their reason for having an underground city might not necessarily be related to war. I don't know how to put that, but this is really massive. I love the way they handle situations. All right, they're always preparing. They're always on the go, guys. They're always preparing. They're always they don't wait for something to come hit them first before they start preparing. All right, they are always preparing ahead. All right, this is really interesting. I'm sure there's a lot of things we don't know about Finland. All right, I am really happy to see this because this is indeed amazing. All right, someone actually recommended this video. Right, thank you so much for recommending. If you have any suggestions or recommendations, always drop in the comment section. Okay, thank you guys for watching and see you guys in my next video. Bye.